Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been buzzing for a while now, cryptocurrencies. You've probably heard about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even heard the term crypto being tossed around in the news or by friends. But have you ever wondered exactly what cryptocurrencies are and how they work? In this video, we're going to break down cryptocurrencies in a way that's easy to understand. If you're completely new to this space, don't worry. I'll keep things simple and give you all the basic info you need to get started. We'll cover things like what cryptocurrencies are, how they work, what makes them different from traditional money, how to buy and store them, and why so many people are talking about them. So let's jump in and start with the most important question. What exactly is a cryptocurrency? Let's start with a simple definition. Cryptocurrency is a type of digital currency that relies on cryptography to secure transactions and control the creation of new units. In simpler terms, it's money that exists only in digital form, and it uses encryption techniques to keep everything secure and make sure no one can manipulate it. The term crypto comes from the word cryptography, which is the science of securing information. And that's exactly what cryptocurrencies do, secure financial transactions. Cryptocurrencies are different from traditional government-backed currencies, like dollars or euros, because they are decentralized and usually not controlled by any government or central authority. When you use traditional money, like cash or credit, there's usually a middleman involved, like a bank, to process the transaction. But with cryptocurrencies, there's no need for a middleman. Transactions happen directly between users, and everything is recorded on a public ledger called the blockchain. So now you know that cryptocurrencies are digital, decentralized, and use cryptography. But how do they actually work in practice? The core technology behind cryptocurrencies is called blockchain. Think of it as a public digital ledger, kind of like a massive digital notebook that anyone can view, but no one can erase or tamper with the entries. Each time someone sends or receives cryptocurrency, that transaction is recorded in a block. Once the block is full, it's added to a chain of previous blocks, hence the name blockchain. This chain of blocks is available to everyone and helps keep track of every transaction ever made. What's great about blockchain is that it's transparent. Everyone can see the history of a cryptocurrency and immutable. No one can change the past transactions. This makes cryptocurrencies very secure and trustworthy. Now, if you've heard about mining, you might be wondering what that has to do with all of this. In the world of cryptocurrencies, mining refers to the process of verifying transactions and adding them to the blockchain. For some cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, mining involves powerful computers solving complex mathematical problems. When a computer successfully solves one of these problems, it's rewarded with new coins. This process ensures that new coins are only created in a controlled way, and it also helps secure the network. The idea behind mining is also tied to decentralization. Instead of relying on a single authority to manage the money supply or confirm transactions, anyone with the right equipment can participate in this process. It's what keeps the system open and free from central control. Now, you might be wondering, what makes cryptocurrencies so different from traditional currencies like the dollar or euro? Here are the main differences. Traditional money is controlled by a central authority, like a government or a bank. These institutions have the power to print money, control interest rates, and manage the economy. But cryptocurrencies are decentralized. This means no single entity controls them. Instead, they're governed by the people who use them and the underlying technology, like blockchain. This makes them more democratic and transparent in some ways. Cryptocurrencies are entirely digital, which means you can't physically hold them like cash. They exist only on the internet, and they can be sent and received by anyone with an internet connection, no matter where they are in the world. This makes cryptocurrencies borderless. There are no restrictions on transferring funds across countries. No matter where you are, you can send and receive cryptocurrency as easily as sending an email. One of the main selling points of cryptocurrencies is the level of security they offer. Cryptocurrencies use advanced cryptographic techniques to secure transactions, making them incredibly difficult to hack or counterfeit. Each transaction is recorded on the blockchain, and it's almost impossible to alter it once it's been added. Additionally, many cryptocurrencies offer privacy features that make it harder to trace the identity of the people involved in the transactions. While the transactions themselves are public, the identities behind them can remain anonymous, which is a big draw for privacy-conscious users. Cryptocurrencies have a lot of potential benefits, and this is why they've been growing in popularity over the years. Let's take a look at some of the main advantages of using cryptocurrencies. One of the biggest advantages of cryptocurrencies is that they are decentralized. This means no single entity or government has control over your money. Instead, you control your own funds through your private key. A private key is like a secret password that only you have access to, and it allows you to manage your cryptocurrency safely. For many people, this is a huge advantage because it takes power away from central banks and financial institutions and puts it back in the hands of individuals. With cryptocurrencies, you don't have to rely on banks, middlemen, or third parties to conduct transactions. When you send money through traditional banks or money transfer services, there are usually fees involved. Cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, often have lower transaction fees compared to traditional financial systems. This is especially true for international transfers, which can be expensive through banks. With cryptocurrencies, you can send money across borders with minimal fees and faster processing times. Cryptocurrencies can also be more accessible than traditional banking services, especially in regions where banking infrastructure is underdeveloped. All you need to access cryptocurrency is an internet connection and a digital wallet. This makes it easier for people in developing countries or underbanked regions to participate in the global economy without relying on traditional banking systems. For many investors, the primary appeal of cryptocurrencies is their potential for high returns. While the value of cryptocurrencies can be volatile, many early investors have seen their holdings skyrocket in value. Bitcoin, for example, went from being worth just a few cents in its early days to reaching tens of thousands of dollars per coin in recent years. Of course, this kind of growth isn't guaranteed, and the market can also experience significant declines, but the potential for large gains is one of the key draws. While cryptocurrencies offer a lot of advantages, there are also some risks that you need to be aware of. Let's take a look at the potential downsides. One of the biggest risks of cryptocurrencies is their volatility. The price of a cryptocurrency can change rapidly in a very short period of time. While this can lead to huge profits for investors, it can also result in major losses. The price of Bitcoin, for example, has fluctuated by thousands of dollars within just a few days. If you're not prepared for these fluctuations, the volatility can be a real risk. Because cryptocurrencies are still relatively new, they face regulatory uncertainty in many countries. Some governments have embraced them, while others have taken a more cautious or hostile stance. In some countries, cryptocurrencies are completely banned, while in others, they're heavily regulated. This uncertainty makes it hard to predict what the future holds for cryptocurrencies and their legal status. While cryptocurrencies are generally considered secure, they're not entirely risk-free. Hackers have targeted cryptocurrency exchanges and wallets, leading to significant losses for investors. Additionally, if you lose your private key, you could lose access to your cryptocurrency forever. It's essential to store your private keys securely and use trusted wallets to minimize these risks. Unlike traditional bank accounts, cryptocurrencies don't come with the same level of consumer protection. If you make a mistake or get scammed, there's no one to turn to for help. If you send cryptocurrency to the wrong address or fall victim to a scam, there's no way to reverse the transaction. So, now that you understand the basics, how do you actually get started with cryptocurrencies? Here's a simple step-by-step guide. To buy cryptocurrencies, you'll need to use an exchange. Some popular exchanges include Coinbase, Binance, and Kraken. These platforms allow you to buy, sell, and trade various cryptocurrencies using your local currency, like dollars or euros. Once you've bought cryptocurrency, you'll need a digital wallet to store it. You can store your coins on the exchange, but it's safer to transfer them to a private wallet. Wallets come in different forms, including software wallets, which you install on your computer or phone, and hardware wallets, physical devices that store your private key offline. Once you've chosen an exchange and set up a wallet, you can make your first cryptocurrency purchase. Simply deposit money into your exchange account, choose which cryptocurrency you want to buy, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, and place an order. And that's a wrap. Now you have a basic understanding of what cryptocurrencies are, how they work, the advantages and risks, and how to get started in this exciting new space. Remember, cryptocurrencies are still evolving, and there's a lot of potential for growth, but also some risks to consider. If you're thinking about getting into crypto, make sure to do your own research, stay informed, and invest responsibly. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on investing and personal finance. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.